Okay, let's see if take two is any better when I get my hardware technology side sorted. Of course, the beautifully fantastic NBN doesn't work. We've had a few issues with that, and I'm not a fan at the moment. I'm hoping that they improve somewhat. I'm just trying to see it on my desktop to make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing before I start waffling on for a second time. It's all good. Okay, so welcome back to World Bee Day meets the Stamping Up Day of Service. This year, everything is changed. Normally I'm doing thousands of kilometres a week on planes and cars and with my snakes running around the state, sharing the scaly love, and 2020 just isn't the same as normal. So the Stamping Up Day of Service is a little bit different. This year the goal is to make and send cards with the emphasis on the send part. I have an embarrassingly massive amount of cards that I've made over the years that have just sat there because I made extras at the time just in case, and they just never got sent. Oops. But right now I am supporting Australia Post quite considerably. Last month I sent 77. This month hopefully I will send a few more, just to round it up to a nice even number. Sorry, I'm just trying to see. And of course I've got the spinning beach ball of death on my desktop, so we'll wait and see what's happening with that. But yesterday was World Bee Day. No, National Bee Day. It was a day to celebrate bumblebees and native bees and all beautiful pollinators, and as a beekeeper I am very partial to bees. I've got my lovely bee earrings on, thank you Catherine, and I have got my beautiful scarf with copper. I don't think you can quite see them. Metallics never photograph well, so I don't think they'll do well on video, but my beautiful scarf Vanessa brought me back from Tassie recently. Anyway, technology. My Archon stand is somewhere between across here in Hawaii, America, so bear with me. I'm using the MacGyver solution today and we'll see how we go. Let's make some cards. Let me try and flip this will be good. All right, and attach it, of course, with my trusty 3M masking tape and of course some blue tack. MacGyver, I don't think MacGyver used blue tack. He was wearing paper clips, but today I will use blue tack just to try and stabilise this. Sorry if I'm getting my fingers and it's shaking at the moment, but one day my birthday present to myself will arrive and I will have a fabulous stand which doesn't wriggle, doesn't unadhere, and is stable. But for now we'll put up with the 3M solution. And I'm looking at it on my desktop and it's wriggly. Hopefully it will stop. There's a slight delay between that. All right, I'll put my hands here and hopefully I'll be able to see my hands soon. Not that they're very exciting, but what I will do is show you what I wanted to do today, which was share with you some ideas of how to use up designer series paper. Now I tend to end up with little 6x6 pieces. They're not really card front size, they don't really fit on things, or I've participated in paper shares, so I accumulate 6x6 pieces of paper. Now, the new catalogue is beautiful. It is coming out next month on the 3rd of June. If you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator and would like a copy, I will be more than happy to send that to you. I also have new starter brochures. If you're brand new to stamping, they're a lot less overwhelming, I think the word is. I get mine bound at the local Officeworks store. I think it costs me under $6, and for me it adds a lot more durability. But I wanted to give you some ideas for using up these 6x6 pieces of paper. And if you do follow my blog, I have actually written a template guide which I will put up on my blog later today. That has been neglected, but thanks to COVID I am now a little bit more keep giving it a bit more love, I guess, updating it a little bit more often as well. Now, ooh, upside down, Miss Jane. I said that to a group of students once and they looked at me and they had no idea who Mr. Squiggle and Miss Jane were, so I thought that was very sad in itself. Now this, you can see all I've done is cut up the designer paper, the pattern paper, and made 3 quick cards. Super simple. This stamp set is carrying over, but the pattern paper is retiring. So if you like that one, I really recommend you order it sooner rather than later. Here's another set. I made these up so quick it wasn't funny. These are with the Bonanza Buddies. Sadly, this stamp set and the papers and everything and the dies are retiring, but again, very simple, very quick, and they look fun. Card making should be fun. Now, the quickest way to get the designer series paper coordinating with the background cardstock is to have a look on the back sticker or the front sticker of the pattern paper pack. Stampin' Up very kindly have the name of the paper, and also it's acid free, but it also lists all of the coordinating colors in the Stampin' Up family cardstock which coordinate with that pattern paper. So very good hint there, don't forget that one, and then you don't have to struggle and remember which of the 7 greens actually match the pattern paper that you're using. And here's a quick little sneak peek. I couldn't not show you something from the new catalogue that's coming. My pre-order came. Australia Post were very mean to my pre-order, but I did manage to get some of it intact and still in the box. This is from the Beautiful World suite. It is stunning. I am loving the stamp set, the sentiments. There's little dies which cut out all these coordinating pieces, so you don't have to fussy cut the feather. There's a little die, and this map as well, the globe, cuts out, and there's lots of beautiful accents with that suite and hardware embellishments and all sorts of things as well, and I can't wait to show you more of that next month when it comes out. So let's go back to my piece of designer paper. 6 by 6 inches. Unfortunately, I'm one of these horrible people. I grew up in the UK, so I learnt imperial measurements in inches, and then coming to Australia, everything's metric. So I do tend to be awful and sometimes say it's 6 inches by 14 centimeters, which really confuses people. But right now, instead of 6 inches by 6 inches, I actually want to take this back to 14.8 centimeters because our cards, this bit is 14.8 centimeters. So I just need to cut off a sliver. I'm not sure if that's a technical term or not. A sliver of the paper. Put that out of the way, and then I just rotate it 90 degrees. Now I have put the metric measurements in, but I just line it up to the 2 inches because the Stampin' Up trimmers do have both imperial and metric. Clearly they were making them for crafters like myself who need to confuse everyone else around. Now I've got my pattern paper. It is up to you whether you use them all the same way down or you flip and rotate and move them so that you get more variety. You will also need, with your pattern paper, 3 card bases. I do tend to, with this template, I do tend to have one that opens portrait, and then I have 2 which open landscape. Now I purposely cut mine landscape so they'll stand that way because personally I feel if I design and make all this pretty and then I stand it this way, sometimes what can happen is the card does this and it falls flat, and it's a bit of a disappointment for the person receiving it when they can't show off their beautiful card because it doesn't sit nicely. It just slouches and it's lazy like some people I know, really, I guess. Now you will also need, I've put on the template, you will also need 3 pieces of contrasting colour, and that's where looking at the contrast colours of cardstock on the designer series paper packs is really helpful. These are 5.5 centimetres by 14.8. These ones are squares that are 6.3 centimeters or 2.5 inch squares, and then 3 white squares which are 2 1/4 inches or 5.7 centimeters squared. And then you'll need some adhesive. Now pretty much all I tend to do is get one of these, don't overthink it, get some adhesive. I'm using snail. It's called snail because it leaves a sticky trail. Now if you've seen, that's run out, I knew that would happen. If you've seen in the latest catalogue, the retirement list, snail is retiring. That's correct. Please don't get stressed about that because we do have new different adhesive coming. I'm actually just going to stick all of them down because then it will go together quicker and we're not all sitting here. It's so cold here this morning, it's ridiculous. I went to go for a walk early this morning and then decided that it was really cold. I was like a little dragon blowing lots of steam. Or maybe it was just like when I was trying to negotiate with my teenager to clean his room. But stick these onto here. Once you've got these cut, all the bits cut, they go together really, really quick. Now, what I do with this one, I've actually just pre-stamped some sentiments onto this one. You can see I must have put this sentiment on. I wasn't happy, it must have been crooked. So I flipped it over, it's magic paper, stamped it on the other side. This will go on here. And this is how fast these cards go together. And there's no right or wrong. Now I've die cut my little bees. You can pop them up on little foam dimensionals. I've die cut my little bees just to stick on there. And if you want to add a little bit of colour, you can colour in the little bee wings. Colour in the bee wings. Whoops. What I want to know is who wants to get some cards in the mail. I figure there's no point in me making these cards if I'm not going to send them. So if you'd like some happy mail, send me a message and I'll pop these in the mail to some people today. Might not have needed the blue on the wings, but that's okay. If I don't like it, I can just get a second bee and stamp him over the top and recolour him, but that's okay. I'm not going to lose sleep over that. Maybe the next one I won't put the bee on it. Now, the other thing with the snail, please remember they are refillable. Oops. So if they run out like that other one did, all I do is detach this. This is the consumable part, chuck that out, and you just get a new one of that, click it in, and you're good to go. So if you do have a snail and you do need refills, you need to order them before the second, well, by June 2nd. The new style adhesive which coming, sadly, the refill doesn't fit this one. So unfortunately that won't coordinate. Like this. This is how fast cannot believe that I've had 2 snails. Okay, we're just going to pretend that I can keep going like that. That one's going to go like this. We're just going to have to be very gentle now. Move that out the way. This one, we're just going to pretend I'm going to stick it down. I could go and get more adhesive, but that would involve a lot of effort this morning. And I think you can figure it. You play the imagination game and just do that, and then just colour in. Oops, forgot he wasn't stuck down. Just colour in those if you want them coloured in. I think it just coordinates through just that little bit nicer. Helps if you hold the bee because he's not stuck down in. Okay, beautiful. Now the other thing I always do with my envelopes, you have to decorate your envelopes, people. It makes everyone happy, including the postman. For my little other ones, see my little koala and my little toucan. So I just think it makes it look really pretty. And it shares that love just a little bit more with everyone. Now, I do want to send these out. So if you'd like a card in the mail, which makes a nice change than bills, please let me know. Or if you'd like me to send a card to someone else on your behalf, I'm more than happy to do that too. I would also like, I've got 2 of these kits put together. The bees, these are the ones I actually stamped, but I can actually die cut these from other bits of pattern paper. Stampin' Up won't allow us to send out pre-stamped images, so I can send out the kits, and then you can, with the bees, die cut separately from the designer paper from this pack, but you just have to add your own sentiment. I forgot to tell you, this beautiful new colour is the new Bumblebee. It's one of the new colours that every year we get 5 new in colours with Stampin' Up, and that one's there as well. Now, if you want to see, you'll have to wait because I'm behind as normal. My intentions always outweigh my time allocations. If you want to get the template, if you want to see the cards up close and have a little study of them, go to my blog. I'll have the details up this afternoon. If you'd like to have a complete bee kit, let me know, because I've got 2 that I've pre-cut. I'd like to send to people who want to make some cards. Other than that, stay safe, have a good day, get creative, and hopefully you put some cards in the mail to someone soon. And I may or may not get some more masking tape and do another one of these next week. I'll see how I go for time. It's crazy. I'm not in paid work at the moment, but I'm still busy. So thank you very much for joining me this morning, and hopefully I'll figure out how to finish this video. Stay safe, everyone.